So language is a very interesting aspect of acting. And also getting the diction right. I mean, there's a certain satisfaction in it. Yeah.
Hi, Ekavali. My name is Pranay Prem and I'm from Mysa magazine and I'll be taking your interview today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Pranay. Thank you. It's my delight. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you, ma'am. So, you grew up in Kolkata. Were you exposed majorly to the Bengali film industry or was it a mixed bag?
It was a mixed bag because my father was a film lover. And in fact, I was exposed to not just Bengali films, but a lot of films from the West, Hollywood films, and of course, Hindi cinema. And those days, when we were kids, there used to be a lot of regional films which used to be shown on Doordarshan, especially I think on Sunday afternoons. So while I was growing up, I have watched, a lot of Tamil and Telugu and Malayalam films as well. So and Marathi films, and of course over the years many more. But yeah, so I think I have grown up watching films in various languages.
You ventured into Hindi films quite later than you started out. Tell us, what was different on a set of a Hindi film and a Bengali film?
See, I started my career not in a very conventional way. I mean, not at an age where most people want to start. That is one aspect of it. But I wouldn't want to say that it has been late or a lot of time has gone by or I have wasted a lot of time because of not having started early. Um, Sets are the same across languages. There needs to be a lot of passion. There needs to be a lot of love for cinema to make a good film in the first place. Yes, sets are different with regard to maybe the budget of the film, the number of people working on it, the number of stars working on it. It could vary. But having said that, I think the biggest driving force in every film, whether it's small, whether it's big, is uh, is the passion, is the love for the medium.
So basically, languages don't seem to be a problem for you, right?
See, if you talk about, how good I am at languages, I would say English, Hindi, Bangla, Urdu are what I'm most comfortable with. Of course, I can speak Punjabi because I am a Punjabi by birth. I have a Punjabi father. But I'm comfortable with other languages also. Like, it's not, I don't find it very difficult. I could find it a little challenging, but I enjoy the process of, learning a new language to do a role or to pick up an accent or to pick up nuances. I think that's a very interesting and a very exciting aspect of the work that I do. So language is a very interesting aspect of acting and also getting the diction right. I mean, there's a certain satisfaction in it. Yeah.
Okay. So now let us talk about Bombay Begums. Please give us an insight to the impact Devyani, your character, has made on the minds of people.
Uh, I'm actually a little surprised. I knew that it was a well rounded, well written character. It was an interesting character, it was a powerful character. But I had never thought that people are going to, talk so much about it or are going to appreciate it as much as they are. So I would admit that I am a little surprised, happily surprised. And of course, I'm enjoying the appreciation and the validation. But I kind of knew that the series is definitely going to have an impact. It's just the magnitude of the impact is something which I'm quite overwhelmed by, I would say, because people across the world are watching it. I mean, not just in India, but just a couple of days back, there was this um, tweet from women in Pakistan, and of course, people in Canada and the US and all are, of course, constantly watching it. So it is nice to know that so many people have watched it and appreciated it or have identified with it also. I think women are also saying that they identify with the characters to an extent. I mean, the modern woman, they're happy to see that a series has been made on the modern,
Modern.
especially from South Asian countries.
Exactly. It was a wonderful series, anyways.
And yeah, I do think so.
So you have worked on an international film. What will people say? and we have to say
Yeah.
it was a tremendous one. So, what's your
Yeah.
experience working on that film?
See, in a certain way, I would say that is my most successful film. Not just because it was the official entry to the Oscars in 2019 from Norway, but also with regard to the number of film festivals it has won, the number of honors, the number of awards it has won. And it has been a very, very impactful film overall. Like, I mean, it's been on Netflix now for 2 years, and people still write to me about it, about the impact of it, and what a strong, compelling film it is. So for me, I got the role through an audition, and I went to Norway to shoot, and we were there for almost 4 weeks. And I think it is one of the finest experiences of my life, especially because of the people I was working with. I mean, of course, shooting in a beautiful country like Norway is a privilege, but my director was extraordinary. I mean, Iram Haq is just. I mean, I'll never have adequate words to praise her. And of course, my co-actors, Maria played my daughter, and of course, Adil Hussain played my husband in the show, in the film. I uh, I feel very grateful for that whole experience, just the way it turned out.
Let's move on. You have worked with Indian and internationally acclaimed directors. Can you elaborate the learning experience working under them?
Um, See, I work with different kinds of directors, and I can say that every director has taught me something. It's like visiting a place. Like when you say if you visit Sikkim, let's just take India for example. If you go to Sikkim, you will have a certain kind of experience. If you go to Tamil Nadu, if you go to Hampi, you will have a certain kind of experience. You go to Kodaikanal, you will, you know, feel a certain way. You'll go to Srinagar, you'll feel a certain way. You'll go to Gujarat, you'll feel something. So every film is also in a certain way like that. It's a whole new experience because it's a whole new space that you are exploring. You're working with new set of people, and I would say, learned, not just learned. It's also very fulfilling to know all these people. And I mean, as you know, I have worked with a lot of national award winning directors. So they come with their own confidence and their own learning. And when there's an exchange, when you are working for them, because in a certain way they are leading you and controlling you as the director. There is a lot that you take back with you, other than just the experience of having shot the film and having made that much money or whatever it is. It is much deeper than that. So I worked with Neela Madhav Panda. I mean, I'll just give you a few examples. Because I worked with amazing people. Now, I think Madhav sir particularly is, he's an expert of telling stories which are based on social issues or social concerns. So Kaun Kitne Pani Mein was about water scarcity. And if you have watched the film, it was a very unusual character. Like this character Gulapi, she was a hooker who was a common hooker between the rich people's village and the poor people's village, and she had to sleep with people for water. So it's a very dark space, but he handled it with humor. I mean, it's a satire. So it was a very interesting experience for me to learn that part. How you can tell a story, or something dark can be expressed with humor. I mean, the way I think Madhav sir did it, for me, that was uh, of great learning and of great value. So that's one example. Then, of course, I worked with somebody who's considered a legend, like Dr. Prakash Trivedi. He had made Pinjar and Chanakya and everything, and he is very intellectual and very academic also. So to work with him was a completely different kind of experience. Then I worked with people like Sudhir Mishra, who's a maverick director. Absolutely, he's Tigmanshu Dhulia. I mean, Sudhir sir and Tigmanshu sir, I think they're very very spontaneous. They are very in the moment. They are very what should I say? I mean, they come with a completely different kind of spontaneous energy. Like it's great. Then I work with some very commercially successful directors as well. For example, I worked with Apurva Lakhia. Now, his films are very different. Like I did Crackdown for him. So he has this blazing energy that he brings to the set, and he also has a certain discipline on set, which I thought was very inspiring, and also the way he tells his stories. It was very different from a lot of the other directors I had worked with, and so there was a certain amount of learning there as well. And of course, Shashank Ghosh. I mean, he's such a quirky mind, and I was part of Veere Di Wedding, which I think is in a Bollywood context the biggest film I've done. uh, I I I enjoyed the experience, and it goes without saying that I learned a lot because Shashank is extremely bright and witty and quirky, and and the way he wanted me to play out my character. I had never thought that I'm going to get a character like that and I'll play it the way he made me play it. I mean, his brief to me was that you have to laugh like a hyena. Now that's a very difficult a spot to put an actor in, but I managed to do it, and I think I owe a lot to him because it was not a very big role in the film, and the film was full of stars. I mean, there was Sonam and Karina and Swara and Shika and everyone, but somehow it's. I mean, when you see the reviews, I think most reviews had something to say about my role in the film and also my laugh in the film. So that laugh is something that I completely owe my director Shashank Ghosh. So it's interesting to work with different people and different who are because I think every director is it's like a study. It's like going to a class where
Right.
you go and there is there is somebody who's teaching you something or is inspiring you or motivating you, and they're all doing it.
Okay. So we all know you're a fan of film festivals. So which is your favorite festival?
um, See, I mean, in India, I think the film festival that I personally love the most is the Dharamsala International Film Festival. I've been going there since 2017, and I think it's everybody should go there once. I mean, anybody who loves cinema must go there once because it's one, they have a extraordinarily brilliant lineup of films. Secondly, the way it's organized, that space, like right in the middle of the mountains to have a film festival is just outstanding. Riku and Tenzing, who organized the festival, I think they have such passion for good cinema that there's something magical that happens, when that festival is happening. Everybody's just um, overjoyed. I mean, there's a sense of joy which you feel when you are at it. So I love going there, and I hope to continue going there and hopefully with more films.
Okay. So lastly, Mysa Magazine's ambition is to provide a platform for underrated artists of all kinds to showcase their talent. What advice do you have for the ones who are
Right.
sitting with their 100 script, dejected and unrecognized?
Um, I mean, just hold on. It's what I can say. And whatever labor people are putting into their auditions and things often don't work out. It really doesn't go to waste. I know it's very easy to say this, but it is very disappointing when things don't work out. But having said that, working on auditions is also a kind of strengthening your abilities and strengthening your power as an actor. So I would say hope is plays a very big role. I mean, how you handle this acceptance and rejection is a very important is a key to being a strong actor with confidence and calmness. So I'd say just hang in there and things will work. Of course, if you love it, you have to also accept that this is the part of the whole deal where there will be मतलब कभी हाँ होगी कभी ना होगी.
No.
You have to be with it.
Thank you, ma'am. Those are very, very inspirational words.
Thank you, Prana. It was my privilege, and I wish all of you all the best.
So thank you, ma'am, for spending your time, valuable time for this interview. And it was really fun.
It
And
was
yeah,
my,
hope we can do
my,
it again.
my
Thank you.
yes, you all the best.